So then in verse 28, then cried Jesus in the temple as he taught. He's crying out. As you see crying, when you cry, you're like kind of in a mess and you're like being loud about it, right? And so he's crying out in the temple as he taught, saying to them in verse 28, ye both know me, and ye know whence I am, and I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. And so he's referring to God, saying God is true, right? We all know this. And he's saying he's come from God, so that makes him true as well, right? And he's saying you know both me and you know whence I am, and that he has not come of himself. Because he's reiterated this multiple times, saying he's not come of himself, he's not seeking his own glory, right? Because he's reiterated this multiple times, he's not coming of himself, he's coming of the will of the Father, right? And that their wills are one. But then he's also saying here that they don't even know the Father, because otherwise if they knew the Father, they would know him. In verse 29, but I know him, for I am from him, and he hath sent me. He's reiterating the same point over and over and over again throughout all these chapters to the Jews, and they're still not hearing what he has to say. Then we read in verse 30, very important here, then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him, because his hour was not yet come. God, being Jesus, was in control the entire time, and until he decided it was time to be delivered over to be crucified, it wasn't going to happen. Because they sought to kill him really early on, because his hour was not yet come, meaning the decided time that he was going to die, and the betrayal that Judas did with a kiss, right? We'll read about that later, has not come. It was not going to happen. We don't know how exactly, like if they tried to, and maybe like there's something stopped them, like the power of God, or if like it was so powerful that even though they wanted to, they just couldn't, right? We don't know exactly what it looks like, but we know they tried or they wanted to, and it did not happen, right? And I think this is just so important because we know that Jesus was led like a lamb to the slaughter, but that he delivered himself that way, right? He delivered himself to be crucified because he gave his life for our sake so that we might have life.